Hi, Kate.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Camino 2026 launch party. I see Kate is here. Hi, Maria. Hi, Sahara. So, we are going to talk about this experience that's going to happen in May 2026. And I'm going to let more people in, but in the meantime, I'm going to start presenting myself, introducing myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Sonia. I am a certified travel coach. I got the certification back in 2021 and I decided to specialize in transformational travel. And I am originally from Spain. That's why I heard about Camino. It's very close to my heart since I was a little child. But it was until 2017 that I did my first Camino trip and was really transformational for me. Hi, Becky, welcome. Yes, so I decided to create this as part of experience, combining travel coaching with the Camino pilgrimage, 1 week pilgrimage together, packed in a year-long coaching, travel and business. This is how I partner with Sahara from the TCN as well. So in a minute, I'm going to share more about the experience. I'm going to share my screen, explain the logistics, and also this is an opportunity for you to ask any questions that you have. So I'm going to let also Sahara introduce herself for those who don't know her, but I think everybody here knows her. But just please, Sahara.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for holding this, Sonia. I'm really excited to share more information about this experience because of how much great stories and feedback and experiences that this group from this year had. But I'm Sahara Rose DeVore. I'm the founder and CEO of the Travel Coach Network, our global platform that trains, educates, and certifies travel coaches around the globe in 40 plus different countries. I know this opportunity is specific to the TCN, but Sonia and I will talk more about how it's not only for just certification program members itself, but so if you are here, you're watching this replay and you're like, well, I'm not in the TCN or I'm not in the certification program, don't worry, stick around. We have information about all of that for you and why this would also be a great experience for you as well. Um, I decided to join forces with Sonia because obviously, as we know, like I've known Sonia for several years now through the program, the TCN, and even just on like a personal level. And her passion and her belief in travel itself and how transformative it is, plus the rise in popularity of El Camino and those types of experiences, it was just a no-brainer to have her as the expert kind of lead this sort of experience and introduce it to those in the TCN. And the reason why we wanted to do this and what makes it a bit different, though, is, and we'll share more about this soon, is that it's not just a personal journey, it's also a business journey to whatever degree you want that to look like. So that's one of the things that really sets it apart and why we wanted to offer that within the TCN, who's a world of different coaches and travel business owners. Either you're getting started or you're thinking about a business or whatnot. So we'll share more about the business component, but that's why I decided to kind of do this journey with Sonia.
Thanks, Sahara. And we have also Maria that we will talk with her later. She's one of the members of the past participants, past pilgrims, or still a pilgrim because we haven't finished the year-long experience yet with her. So we will hear her experience and her testimonial at the end of the presentation. So thanks for being here also, Maria. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. And in the meantime, if you have, those who are here live, if you have any questions about the Camino, about the experience, feel free to share in the chat and we will answer as we go. So I'm gonna share the screen and if you have seen already this website, so I will talk you through it. So first of all, the dates, okay? So the dates of the trip itself are gonna be from the 18th to the 24th of May, 2026. Oh, thank you, Sahara, for sharing the link. Okay, here are some pictures also of the Camino this year, early this year in May 2025. These are the groups. Some people ask me if it was a big group, small group, if we were only women, we were men and women. So you can see here the group. We had two gentlemen, the rest were women. And as Sahara said, we had people mostly 99% TCN, but also people from outside who are like-minded entrepreneurs as well. So about Camino, I'm sure if you are here, you heard about Camino and you maybe feel called to walk the Camino. It's an ancient pilgrimage, 1,000 years old. Millions of people walk this before you, and it has this magic, energy around it. Of course, at the end of the Camino, when we finish in Santiago de Compostela, is where Saint James the Greater is buried, right? Is the tomb of Saint James the Greater, and that's the origin of the Camino for the Christian reasons. But nowadays, everybody walks it. Doesn't matter their belief, if for spiritual reasons or just some people just because it's a trail that's beautiful, the connection with nature, the physical activity, all this perfect combination that helps to, step away from the routine and the daily, responsibilities. And we cannot be so creative when we are in between meetings. So we need to step away from all the daily routines and responsibilities and connect with something bigger that can be the history, the culture, nature, and hear these answers that sometimes we cannot hear because there is so much noise around us. But this little voice inside, that's our intuition, and it tells us what to do next. Sometimes we are at crossroads in life or in business. So it's a powerful catalyst for that. So the business coaching experience, I'm gonna leave Sahara to explain that better than me. But I want you to focus on this because this is not only a week-long pilgrimage. It's not about a week on the Camino. It's more than that. So it's a container that's designed especially to create this clarity, confidence, transformation, to come back different from the Camino. So the 7-day pilgrimage is here in the center, but as you can see before, there is coaching, travel coaching, to focus on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual preparation. So when you arrive to Spain, you are ready. So you have already done, the setting intentions, all that you learn in the certification course, if you are in the certification course, to implement it in yourself as well, which I think is a good exercise if you are starting your business or you are start having clients to experience this on ourselves first before we can share it and coach other people. And then you have the business also coaching with Sahara that she will focus in the business side for you to take advantage or make the most of this trip as well for your business. And then after the trip is when we have the incorporation, implementation of the learnings. And I think this is what many people don't do. Of course, many people only prepare the physical part. This is what the research on Google, right? How the physical challenge, how many miles I have to walk every day to prepare for that, or how to pack. And yes, we are going to cover this as well, but there is much more than that. But the incorporation and the implementation after, many people fail on that. So what happens is they had a beautiful experience and a life-changing experience perhaps, but they go back home and the routine eats you again back to the normal or to the old. So you go back to where you were before instead of moving forward. So we don't want this for you. So we are not going to let this happen. We are going to keep you accountable and connect every month. You are supported. So this is 1 year container. So I'm gonna walk you through also the stages and the dates of the logistics of the whole experience, but I wanted you to have the visuals of it because this is what will happen. Preparation before the trip, 1 week in Spain, and then the implementation after. The idea actually came from my first Camino experience, as I was saying earlier, years ago when I was having conversations. I have my background in psychology. I love human behavior and I love to talk to people. I'm a people person. And I realized that many pilgrims there were there with a meaningful intention. Some of them, most of them, were through some, life changes. Maybe they were divorced, maybe they lost somebody who they loved, or gone through some challenges, health challenges or job challenges. So they were there with meaningful intentions, just one foot in front of the other to connect with what's important, because I think this is what the simplicity of the Camino will give you as well. You will have all that you need in your backpack, and you will realize that with the simplicity, you don't need more than that to be happy. And of course, the confidence that gives you of the physical challenge, that I will also talk about this in a moment, but to realize that you are able and capable to do that, that maybe you were not sure before, will give you this confidence and this boost that you need to actually take the next step and move forward in your life or in your business. So I talk about myself as well. Sahara also introduced herself. It's important to say that I will be the only one who will be on the Camino. So Sahara will be your coach online, virtually. Okay. So I only be myself with you on the trip. The two of us will coach you virtually. And about the trip itself. Okay. So this is the itinerary for the Camino. So this week between the 18th and the 24th of May, this is what we will do. So you see here a map of Spain. And the French Camino, which is the one that we are going to walk, starts in France actually, but we are not going to walk the whole thing because this will be more than 1 month. We are going to walk. We are going to walk the last 100 kilometers that starts in Sarria. Okay, so we start in Sarria, we finish in Santiago, and this is how it goes. The 18th we arrive to Sarria. This is just welcome reception. We have a dinner together. We get to know each other. It's true that some people decide to arrive before, especially if you come from far away, that you have time to settle, and if there is some jet lag or something, some people come 1 day before or 2 days before. Maybe some people also want to do it as an experience to see around. This is totally up to you. But the day one, we are going to meet for dinner, okay? And day two, we start walking. So we walk from Sarria to Porto Marín, which is the first stop, and every day we'll stop in a different place. Okay, so the first day is 22 kilometers, 13 miles, and then Porto Marín to Palas de Rey, Palas de Rey to Arzúa, Arzúa to Pedrozo, and the last day, day 6, we arrive to Santiago de Compostela. Of course, all of this is, as the preparation goes, surrounded by rituals, and I will explain you also the culture, the history, the meaning that is behind, so you will walk with much more intention. That 90% of the people who are going to be there that maybe didn't do all this research for their own. And then that day 7, so we sleep in Santiago, we have the last dinner, and day 7, many people will leave, other people will stay and explore the city or go to Finisterre or see around. Okay, so I also can advise you if you want to do that. But the trip is just 1 week, starts in Sarria, finishes in Santiago. So it's 6 nights. And then the coaching sessions, the preparation, virtual preparation here, starts actually in December this year. Okay, so we start with a welcome kickoff session, and then every month we have a session. So we are meeting every month. As I said, we are going to keep you accountable from beginning to end. We start in January with the physical preparation, then February mental preparation. In March, you will have the session with Sahara about the business, and then April, emotional preparation, and May, just before the trip, the spiritual preparation. Then we will travel, and then June we continue. We have time for self-reflection, business integration, plan of action, then also to pitch the media, overcoming obstacles, and the accountability. Okay, so you can see here the logistics of the coaching as well. So inclusions and price. So the included in the experience are the 6 nights in accommodation, daily breakfast, daily dinners. Your luggage is transferred during the stages. So we are not gonna, unless you want, of course, if you want, you are welcome. But usually nobody wants to carry the big backpack. You can also bring a suitcase if you want, because you just need to bring what's necessary for the day. Okay, so your daily snack and your water, and that's it. Because your luggage is gonna be waiting for you in the next accommodation every day. There is a travel insurance also included, the pilgrim's credentials, so you can collect your stamps, that I will explain this how it works, and you can get your certification, because we do this 100 kilometers, we do this leg from Sarria to Santiago, because it's kind of the minimum necessary for to have the certification of completion of the Camino, the official certification from Santiago de Compostela. Okay, so you will have your credential. There is also, emergency phone assistance, everything. I will be there with you. Sahara will provide us with TCN merchandising package. It was beautiful with the hats and the t-shirts and all of that. The virtual group preparations, travel coaching, business coaching, in-person coaching. This is something that I will also on demand if you are interested to have some coaching during the walk. I think it's good to have when you walk. The ideas come more clear. Is if ever happened to you when you are in the shower or you are in these moments walking in the park that you have the best ideas that maybe you were sitting in your desk for hours and you could not get the solution, and then you go out and you connect with nature and you have all these downloads. So this is a good opportunity to coach as well. And then the virtual business coaching sessions as well. So what's not included? Flights, transfers from the airport if you arrive to Madrid or you arrive to Santiago. I will help you with these logistics, no worries. And then the lunches. We don't include lunch because we walk in a different pace. So this is also a question some of you ask me. So we start all together in the morning, we have breakfast, we start walking, and then everybody listens to their body. So I walk in the back, at the back of the group, and who is in the front, they don't need a guide because the arrows show you where it is, and you will be well informed where we sleep every night. So if you want to slow down and walk with the last of us, super welcome. But if you are, quicker and you don't want to slow down, you can go and wait for us in the hotel. So we meet in the morning for breakfast, we start together, and then we meet in the evening for dinner. During the Camino, everybody walks their own pace. Okay. Some testimonials here that you can also listen if you want in the website. So these questions, I think I already answer. The experience, yeah, how much walking experience you need. So I'm gonna let also Maria and Brandely that are here to share how much they trained and what about the physical challenge, because I think it's the best testimonial that you can hear for people who just been there and they can tell you how much they train. But from my experience, if you are able to walk like 10 kilometers in your town, you of course, if you have some concerns about your health, always check with a health practitioner or your doctor, that's for sure. But if they say it's okay, just the training, just a little bit every day, okay? So, but we will talk about that in the physical preparation. Don't worry, we have plenty of times in January. We are gonna be start preparing for that. So the single room, yes, that's important because the price, sorry, I didn't mention the price. So the price of all these inclusions are 2,200 euros per person. The early bird that is only until Friday this week is 1,897 euros. So this is for shared occupancy. So people who want to share room to enhance the experience and make it more authentic for them. That's the price. If you want single room, yes, it's also available. There is a supplement of 280 euros for the whole week. Okay. So the early bird is only until Friday. But if you want a single book a single room, you are also welcome to do that. Also for the diet, some people ask me if they are vegan or vegetarian or they have, some allergies or it's totally okay. So I will ask you in advance if you have any, dietary request, and we will inform the hotels and the accommodations about that. Okay, so you will have no problem. Some of the testimonials that you will hear about, and I think that's it. So I'm gonna stop sharing and see if we have any questions here in the chat. And price for only an additional worker. Can you please talk about the accommodations? What kind of hotels or albergues? Okay, so this is, Karina, I'm gonna start with this question. I see your question first. So type of accommodation, this is something that we also changed from last trip. So we are using now hotels as part of the accommodations. So I can give you some examples. I will share here in the chat in a minute of examples, but are going to be hotels with your room and your, bathroom for you inside the room. Okay. I will share some websites as an example. And Becky say, and price for only an additional worker. I'm not sure if I understand the question, Becky. Do you want to unmute yourself and explain what you mean? It's a question about the price for only an additional worker. Or if you cannot speak.
Sorry, yes, if somebody wasn't a part of the business group but just wanted to walk the Camino with us.
Is there a different
All
price?
right, all right. No, it's not. It's the same price. So we have this as part of the experience. So the coaching is kind of a addition to the experience, but it's the same price for everyone. Okay. What other questions do we have? I see Karina also joined. Hello, Karina, welcome. And Kate and Becky, yes, I said hello to everybody. Perfect. So that's, I think it's everything from my side. I don't know if I forgot anything, Sahara, or you wanna. I have some questions for you as well about the business, by the way.
Yeah, we can kind of get into that. Yeah, that was a good question, Karina. If you take a look at the prices of El Camino experiences online, a lot of them are a lot more than this, or they're pretty, same kind of range that we have here. So really the coaching, especially the business aspect, is just really a bonus. It's an add-on that you're getting to this entire experience. And to have someone like Sonia help you in that pre, during, and the post trip as well when it comes to coaching. And it might be something you guys don't think about needing. But if you are a travel coach, you're studying to be a travel coach, it's really nice kind of getting that firsthand examples to see like what is it like, how is Sonia, working with you guys, whether it's individually or as a group, to kind of implement into your own kind of business journey. And then from like a business standpoint, honestly, you can also make it however it is that you do want. We do have plans on what we do discuss, but I am here to help guide you guys on whatever it is from a business standpoint that you guys are looking for. Whether you have a business, you're thinking about starting a business, this experience that Sonia has described is beyond just a personal transformation and experience. A healing journey, but it can also give you a lot of clarity on, even it's from like a position at a job that you're in. So anything from like a more professional standpoint, we really tap into how can we utilize this experience to help you guys get whatever outcomes, results that you're looking for, whether it's for your own business or for even just kind of the next steps to take. So we're here to support you in that, and also to be able to connect with other like-minded individuals who have that elevated, mindset of creativity and forward thinking and like-mindedness in travel and making an impact in the lives of others through travel. So having this firsthand experience of your guys' own to see like, okay, how can an experience like this be healing and transformative to someone other than just what we hear and read about and talk about? How can time in nature and this time alone in new environments really help you guys, have time to set aside for self-reflection and clarity and reaching your own, professional goals that you have as well? How can it spark ideas for content creation, for writing, whatever it is that you guys work on or you're starting or thinking about doing? If you have a blog, if you want to show up more on social media, if you're trying to figure out your messaging or what direction do you go in on who could you serve and who can benefit from and experience something similar to this or beyond. Again, I'm here to help guide you guys from just like a business standpoint, in whatever aspect that might be for you guys. And then Sonia, I know you had a couple questions for me too.
Thank you, Sarah. Yes, questions that people ask me. So maybe some here also will ask themselves that question. Is the business training suitable for someone who has not yet completed the TCN certification program?
Yeah, so this experience isn't only for those who are in the travel coach certification program or even just within the travel coach network. Again, I think if you guys came across Sonia's page or, wherever you saw this experience, this opportunity, whether you're watching this replay or you joined us live here today, you obviously believe in the power that travel can have on you, and the impact that can have on the lives of others. And so being able to bring you guys together with other like-minded individuals is our main goal. So no, you do not have to be in the certification program. You don't have to be completed with the certification program if you guys are in that. This really is an experience that we are here, Sonia and I are here to help guide for you guys, to make it your own.
Thank you.
Was there another question you had?
Yes, I have here what makes this trip a unique opportunity? Who should join this trip? Any of these questions can you answer as well?
Yeah, so like I said, if you Google, there's countless El Camino experiences that exist out there. And again, there's a difference between joining some random one through a random company and hope that you connect with the people and find, some sort of commonalities. But Sonia and I wanted to make this intentional for you guys, intentional through you already have a level of understanding of how beneficial travel could be. And you guys are all in different transitional points in your life, whether it's from a career standpoint, whether that's a personal standpoint, whatever it might be. To be able to connect with others who you can bounce ideas off of and share stories with, um, and go on an experience where you can meet other people and you never know the impact that they can have on you. I think there is a reason why you guys are drawn to the TCN or to today's call or this replay, and to really tapping into all of that makes this experience unique. And of course, there's the strategic side of the business standpoint too, that no one else out there offers something like that.
Thank you. Any other question anyone has about the business side, or Sahara, you want to add anything?
Anything in
Ask.
general too about the experience.
Exactly. Some people also ask me what's an ideal day. So what we did this year, we were having breakfast. So we were meeting for breakfast at 7:30, and then we were departing at 8:30. Okay, so it was not a early morning either, but was good enough for the time of the year, and the weather conditions and the sunlight and all that was perfect. And then we were having dinner at 7, sometimes 7:30. And as I said, in between, some people were stopping more often for coffees. People didn't stop at all. Other people were, having lunch there. Other people wait until they arrive. So this is very personal, and is up to you. So you're gonna walk with the group in the back, or you just want to do your own, meet other people as well. I always recommend. Of course, being with the group is a beautiful experience, an opportunity for networking as well. That I think we didn't mention that, but I think it's a very good opportunity to meet in person other people from the TCN or like-minded people, and not only learn from the coaches, but also learn from each other, because everybody's going to be in a different situations of their life in their business, and having conversations and friendships. I know some people still meet now after the Camino because they live nearby and they meet for hikes during the weekends. So and we are still in touch because we are still finishing the coaching sessions. So we haven't finished yet with the last group. We will finish the last group and we will start this new group in December.
Yeah, I
So
also want to don't forget to mention that if you guys have a partner, a friend, a spouse, like someone else that you're like, could they join? Absolutely. This, like I said, is open to anyone. So if there's someone else that you have in mind or you'd like to share with a friend as well and see if they'd like to join, Sonia and I are very open to including whoever is interested in this experience and making it just as beneficial and impactful and empowering for them as well too.
brilliant. All right. So if there is no more, well, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I would like to ask Maria now, since I have you here. Hello. Let me see if I can help you to unmute.
Okay.
Hey, how are
Hi,
you?
good, good. It's so good
Well,
to see
thank you.
you again.
Yes, good to see you too. Thank you very much for joining us
Mhm.
and sharing your experience as a pilgrim of Camino de Santiago. So I know many people. Well, let's start with your story first. I will ask you about the physical challenge because I think it's something that I would like to clarify, because it's one of the biggest objections people have before doing this experience, this week-long Camino with us as well. But tell us about your situation. Where were you before, last year when or earlier this year when you heard about the Camino? Where were you in your life, in your business, and why did you decide to join? What was about this experience that you thought would be useful for you?
Well, I'm still in the middle of developing my next incarnation of a travel coach business. I lived in Paris for 7 years back in the day and traveled to the Middle East, but that was way before kids. Um, Now I'm on the other side of that. I have some 20 somethings, and but I I I realize actually since 2017, but especially in the last year, I've been fantasizing about getting back into travel. So I've been saving lots of articles, but I've sort of been this undercover secret agent because I don't want to announce it before it's ready. So, but I did come across Sahara and I signed on for the coaching network last fall. I have not even begun to embark on that yet. I'm trying to create a life so that I can devote to that. Randy Lee, hey! My travel buddy here. And so around about that time, I saw your messages coming up, and I'm like, bucket lists. And I even inquired, of course. I'm always like, I can't afford this time or money now, but I still just want to find out. And then the deadline came and passed in September. And I'm like, okay, that was sort of a fantasy. I'm not quite ready, don't have the funds, don't have the time. Let it go. It'll come around again. And then February, there was a couple of spots open. And I reconfigured and I thought, maybe I can pull this off. So I did. I found a way, used some travel points, used a little secret fund that I could put towards this. And I didn't really sign on till late February. I thought I was a travel whiz, but I'm so out of touch in all these years of travel. I mean, it was decades ago. I lived in Europe and I had struggles just simply paying online with, I mean, everything was new because I accidentally, by the way, if you pay, don't sign up for a business account. Wait, what is it? Was it Stripe or something else? Anyway.
Was Vim, yes.
Oh, Veeam. Okay. So I hit the wrong button instead of bypass as a guest user. And they asked for all my financial documents and I got super frustrated. So that was like my first obstacle, like a full week just paying you when I could have just so. But that was good because it put me in training and I'm like, if I'm going to be a travel coach, I better learn this, right? Um, Anyway, so I realized I was actually the oldest person on the trip. I mean, Paul, is Paul coming again? Will he be with you
We'll
next year?
see. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. I'm 9 months older than Paul from Ireland. So, not that age matters. I do not want to be an ageist, but I'm just telling for people that are out there in their early 60s. And I'm also not a workout queen. I'm in my head and I have a lot of nervous energy and I walk up and down the house and do sorts of things, but I don't have a routine. So anyway, I started late February. That gave me 10 weeks. And I'm from Minneapolis, city of lakes, and a lot of lakes are about 3 miles. So it's pretty easy to just hit a lake. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say I skimmed by, but I did not do more than 10 miles a week. Um, so then finally by the end, I knew I had to at least hit like 7 or 8 miles. Like I think you wanted us to at the minimum do that. So my husband and I went to a national park and did a nice hilly 8 mile walk. So it's quite nervous for a lot of reasons. But anyway, everything was exciting and everything was a challenge. Side note, my luggage went missing and I didn't have it the entire time. So that was a miracle and another story in and of itself. Fortunately, at the last minute, I bought Keen sandals, which were in my backpack. And I was the best pack for this trip. I had moleskin, I had everything, I had rain gear, I had everything that was on the checklist. I went to REI and AAA and Amazon overnight, and I just had the perfectly packed luggage that I never got to use. So, one day in Sorry, I went out in my little sport bathing suit and a hot pink shirt from TCN Network. But you learn how to survive. So, and as time went on, I didn't need as much. Everyone was like packing all night for the next luggage transfer. And I'm like, my backpack, I got a power bar in there. And, people helped. I mean, people lent me their shorts or I would just get some cheap clothes along the way. But anyway, that was a whole nother lesson in letting go. But um, it was still a challenge for me, very much, but I challenge on multiple levels. And now that I think back, I think my spiritual and mental will got me through when my physical will couldn't. That 18-mile day was challenging. Um, but it's beautiful. I mean, and it's hard because like there was one person on our trip who was a marathon runner and she got there in 4 hours and they'd be hanging out in the next town, sending us photos like we're having beers, hanging out. Where are you guys? And we were midway through, but there's so much to see along the way. There's just beautiful, clear streams. And I loved I don't know if it was kilometers long, the old stone walls just covered in moss and then another layer of ivy from these old growth trees. And you can't even take photos of it because it's like, will this really translate? Lots of cows, vistas, and really cute taverns and or restaurants along the way. It's kind of tempting to stay for a long time. I wouldn't really allow a quick drink till the end of the afternoon or dinner because otherwise you're too tired and can't focus. But a little coffee and I think once Brandy Lee and Rosa and I had, how long was that lunch? That 2 hour lunch was a little long, but set us back. But then we ran into Sonia and it was a great day. So she was pulling up the rear and just happened to peek in a restaurant. And she's like, you guys are still here. Um, so in summation, it kind of remains a peak life moment for me because it was kind of a struggle, with the lost luggage and the challenge and everything, and just being out of shape on globally and travel and everything, and just going, wow, I pulled it off. So now if I ever go, oh, I can't do this, I'm like, you did the Camino. Um, yeah, so it's definitely like a reference point for me of like, look what you did. Look what you
And
did. You
you
pulled
did
it
it,
off.
you finish every day like a champion. And
Hmm.
your Camino started very early. Before you travel, the Camino already started with the challenges and then the luggage. So the Camino is not only that 7 days there. Is when you sign up and you say yes, you start your Camino.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Okay, so what is your highlight of the experience? What's the the most remarkable thing that you will say just for that it was worth it?
you want me to cry?
If you want.
The hardest day. Both my parents have passed away. I did bring my ashes of my father, which were lost for 10 days, but that's another story. I got them at the last day, Saturday. I'm like, I'm not relying on DHL, or is that what it's called, to deliver my luggage. I'm going to go get it in a taxi, which is really funny because you walk a full day and then you can really just do it in a taxi in a half hour for $80. But anyway, so I picked up my luggage myself. So that I always trusted. I'm like, okay, if he wants to not come on the Camino and be lost in the luggage, he can. That wasn't really the peak. In addition to that, um, Sonia, Rosa, and I, the hardest day, we decided to stop in a little for a drink, like, one more time. And I usually don't drink Coke, but I did 3 times on this way. I don't know if Coke is like better in Spain, like it's supposed to be in Mexico, but I'm like, I'm not a Coke drinker, but I was drinking it. And you know how they have names on the side of your Coke can? Um, well, I got a Coke. It said Dolores, and that's my mom's name. Of course, it's a Spanish name, but it's a little bit, popular in the US. So sorry, I can't tell the story without crying. So I saw that Coke can. I'm like, I've got this.
It
So,
gives you that push. Yes, I remember that moment was very special.
oh, and I tripped twice.
Yes.
Not once, but twice.
Yes,
We
but you
had a
have a
member along with
master.
us who was blind and had a seeing eye dog. And once she tripped, and I'm like, oh, I'm just doing this to make you feel better. But no, I did this on my own, completely with sight. Um, And both times it was embarrassing. The first time there's a whole group of, I think, Portuguese hikers, and they laughed at me and they said, we're going to take a picture for Facebook. And but then they all kind of got in a group photo with me. I'm like, okay, that was bad enough. The second time, I happened to have, Brandy Lee was always ahead of me by far, but this one day, she was a little bit behind doing other things. And Brandy Lee, are you there? You're trained in, I know, what is your training? Backwoods medic?
It's first aid CPR in medical wilderness.
Yeah. So I think I was taking photos because you kind of go, should I stop and take photos? But then I fall behind. Will I really capture the moment? But you want to photograph everything. So it was kind of a rocky road. It was fairly flat. And I think I stopped to take a photo and fell and rolled and fell in my backpack. Both times I fell, it was not like, I still could walk. Nothing was twisted. It was just embarrassing scrapes. Boo-boos on each knee. And it's super embarrassing when you fall. And I rolled on my soft backpack and I'm up like a turtle. And who comes running behind me but Brandy Lee? And she's like, I'm in medic mode now. I got the best care. She's like, can you feel this? 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 Are do you have this? Do you have this? Do you I'm like, I'm good. I'm okay. I just embarrassed. She went through the whole thing. She was a whole different person. She was in medic mode. And then 5 Taiwanese women came up, and then 3 Mexican women came up, and then 2 friends. I had 13 like angels on a Camino, all staring at me, helping me. And I'm like, can I videotape you guys? Because this is amazing. So that just shows you that, they say the Camino provides, and you get more care than you would ever know or want.
True.
So I didn't want to tell the pros that were way ahead of us that I fell twice. So I didn't, but they'll know now. But yeah, so it's embarrassing. You have a boob on your knee, but Brandy Lee took good care of me. And yeah, so there's just some peak moments.
Thank you,
Not the
Mariam.
whole world can see my vulnerability, but yeah, it's physical, mental, spiritual, all levels. That's why it's kind of one-stop shopping to go to go on the
And the
Camino.
Camino gives you what you need at every time. So everything you need is I always explain, it's like a little picture of the whole life. So when everything is intensified there, and you will learn about yourself a lot as well when you are
Hmm.
there, and how to receive help and all that. Thank you,
Hmm.
Maria, for sharing your story.
Hmm.
Okay, Brandeli, hello.
Oh, hope
Thank you for
everybody can
joining
hear
as well.
me.
So Brandeli
Yeah.
also worked with
Mhm,
us in May earlier this year. So
mhm.
I will ask you also the questions I asked to Maria. So where were you when you signed up, when you said yes to this trip? Um, why did you say yes? What do you hope this will help you with, or where were you in your life or business at that time?
Um, when I was interested to sign up for the trip, I was actually in a coffee shop in Manhattan because I think it was December or January that I signed up for the trip because before I was interested, I kept looking through my emails and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. So I said, well, I guess it's not meant for me. But then one day I was sitting in a coffee shop and the email popped up again and I said, okay, it's time for me to book this trip. So I sent the email and then eventually signed up. And the reason why I was interested in this is because I am a mountain climber and outdoor enthusiast for over 30 years. So being in the outdoors has always interested me, but I wanted to do it with a group of people that I could have the opportunity to get to know as opposed to just joining a group and then we all just start walking. So that's why I got started. And I saw one person before that did part of the Santiago, and I was like, all right, I have to do this. And then I did a little bit more research first. So I was like, yes, let's do this and let's get started. But it was really good because you had a chance to get to know the people who would be walking with you beforehand. So I think that's something that's really important besides just being thrown into a group. You're able to know people, or at least where they're from, watch the videos on repeat if you're unable to take part in the live videos, the coaching sessions. I was at work, so I would just have to watch the replays on that, which is totally fine because the replays are there for you to watch. But it's a really great opportunity to know people before you get there. And then when you meet, you're like, oh, you're so and so. I remember your name or your photo. And you're so and so. And then after that, after a few minutes, everybody just starts opening up and chit chatting and talking. And having the welcome dinner was a lot of fun because we really did have a chance to sit down, share a meal, talk, get to know each other. And I won't go into too many details, but it was definitely an amazing experience for the first night. Now, for me, I arrived a few days earlier. I arrived in Santiago and spent a couple days there, which was great because I was able to pick up a few items at a store called Decathlon, and just in case I left anything home. So if you do have extra time, you can. Nope, you know what? Nope. Sonia, I won't recommend that one because that was just me. For the Decathlon store and arriving to Santiago first. So no, I won't say that one. But yeah, I arrived a few days earlier into to Spain, just to get a chance to, you know, decompress from from flying and just to relax. So that's a good thing if you have time to fly into
Yeah.
flying earlier.
Yeah, that's a good tip. And it's a good point, Randeli, that we have because many trips when you go, just we meet, people meet on the destination. But here we
Mhm.
have the time to, the ice breaking as well. The coaching is all for the preparation, but also is an opportunity to know each other. And when you arrive there in Spain, you already feel that you know everybody, right? So you
Mhm.
go deeper, quicker with the group.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that.
Uh,
All right. What was your experience during the Camino? What was the highlights, or what would you like to share with the people here?
Okay, I think the whole trip was a highlight. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to take this trip with. But one of my highlights is not just one, it's multiple days. So I realized that we had a lot of great coffee drinkers in the group, which was absolutely amazing because I love to drink coffee, and the coffee in Spain is top tier. It's delicious. But what we would do is after breakfast, we would still walk and say, okay, well, I want some coffee, and one person ahead would find a place for us to eat. We would meet them there, and then we would have some coffee, a latte, a snack, and orange juice. And to be able to have a nice conversation while sitting down and talking to people without having to be focused on your cell phone or what's on Instagram, what am I missing? You were just really surrounded by nature and you took time out to appreciate the people around you plus the food. And it was also great for a nice bathroom break. And the thing is that people would walk at different paces. So what you could do is you could have that time to sit down, chit chat, talk, make memories. And if you want to stay with the group, you can. And if you felt the need to have that time for yourself to process the trip or to process a thought, you could either walk behind or you could walk forward. So I would say those are some of my best memories on the trip. And even having dinner, the dinners were huge, humongous things of food, but you've walked so much that you just eat all the food and you appreciate it because it was delicious. And there is one of our first stops that we had the first night. All I'm going to say is amazing. So I would say really having the chance to sit down and have dinner and breakfast with with the group as a whole. And yes, it was there were some times where it was just what did I get myself into? But you knew that you had to keep pushing through and to keep moving. And sometimes you'd be walking and you'd find yourself by yourself. You look, there's no one front, look, there's no one in back, but you're just surrounded by nature, and it makes you appreciate your thoughts, it makes you appreciate nature. um, there was definitely a lot of cows to see. I mean, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cows. You saw all different types of farm animals. The streams were gorgeous. So there are different parts of nature that you are able to see as you're walking. Each day you're going to see something different. So that was, as a person who loves the outdoors, I appreciated every moment of that. And then walking through the towns, you're walking through people's backyards, the cobblestones. It was just amazing. But I would say really spending time with people and not being focused on the phone. Because when you're too tired to even focus on your phone, not unless you're, sending someone, hey, I've made it, or a few pictures of the day. Oh, and one thing too I did appreciate is taking a picture in front of the sign every day for each town that we were in. Yeah,
We had a
it
memory
was
of the
nice.
group as well. But no, this is a good point because we have the opportunity to have time together. But then if you want to travel solo or do your own thing, but you know that at the end of the day, you have a warm place where you can land for the dinner and sharing, the best moments and laughs and
Mhm.
conversations with, people that you already know and appreciate. So that's
Yes,
beautiful experience every day. All right, Brandeli,
thank
thank you for sharing that. I will ask you one more
thank
question.
you. Okay.
What would you say to somebody who maybe is listening and they want to do it, but they hesitate? Maybe they have some fears, maybe the physical challenge or any kind of other hesitations. What would you say to someone who is in the fence right now?
I would say one important thing before I always book a trip is to do research. Research, and to make sure that this trip is important to you and that this is something that you actually want to do, even if you're not scared or if you're a little bit nervous. Research, check out some videos, but also there has to be a point where you step out of your comfort zone to be like, okay, I'm a little nervous, I'm a little scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then once you finish, you're like, okay, if I did this, I can do a longer trip, then I can do anything. And you never know, you can be an inspiration to somebody else who may be nervous and they see that you did it, and then it continues from there. So I would just say do some research, and just make sure that the trip is right for you. But stepping out your comfort zone is something that's going to be pretty important, and you'll learn a lot about yourself through that process.
Beautiful said. Thank you. And yes, the
Okay.
confidence and the self-confidence is one of the big things, big outcomes that people take from that, and feeling proud. Or even I remember, people saying that her family or her children, they were so proud of them that they never
Mhm.
saw their sons feeling, "Go, mom, you can do that." This kind of this never happened to me. And they feel like
Mhm.
crying of gratitude and emotion of they feel they can do big things. If I can do
Yes.
this, I can do anything. That's a big one.
Oh, can I just say one more thing?
Oops.
Oh, while you're on this walk, I'm gonna say walk slash hike because there's some times when you are hiking, you're going to meet people from all around the world, and you will spark up amazing conversations, and you'll even be able to keep in contact with some of these people. So as you're going, yes, you'll have time for yourself, but there are times where you will meet other people, and that's a big part of what makes your trip pretty interesting. Yes,
Definitely the people. Yeah, good one.
yes.
All right, so we have 5 minutes. If there is any question for me, for Sahara, for Maria, for Brandeli, of the ones who are here live, take the opportunity that we are here now and we can answer any questions that you have or questions you want to ask to past participants as well.
I know Brandy Lee just mentioned about meeting other people. In the TCN gift bags that we do send, you get little stickers that you can share with others that you meet along the way, that they were a key piece of your journey, or something has like cute little sayings on it. So we find ways for you guys to, you know, get outside your comfort zones and connect with others, and really like be intentional and mindful of like those conversations and those stories that you hear from others, and the impact that you maybe make on their lives as well too.
Yeah, that's a
Are
good
there
one.
any Brandy Lee and Maria, thank you guys so much for sharing all of that. I just heard all of your passion and your joy. It's as if you guys are still on the experience as you guys were sharing that. And so Kate says, what airport would you recommend
Mm.
for arrival? Yeah, so maybe like Sonia, if you want to talk a little bit maybe of more
Yeah.
logistics that we haven't covered yet.
Are you in the US, Kate? If you come from outside Europe, I would recommend Madrid in the city center because there are many trains from Madrid airport to Sarria. And I think, Maria, you've definitely took that train. I don't know, Brandeli, if you took the same, but there is lots of, it's very easy. And I would recommend to travel because international flights to Madrid, there are many. So I'm sure nearby where you live, you will find, if not direct, nearly direct, a flight to Madrid. And then it's very convenient. And from Madrid, you can take the train to Sarria. So we will talk about this in the preparation, definitely. But just for you to check, maybe you're going to check also flights and all that, to see how convenient it is from the place you live. But yes, I would recommend Madrid. My pleasure. All right. Everybody good? No more questions? Okay, so we will end up here. Thank you again, Mariam Brandeli, and thank you, Sahara, and everybody who is here live. And hopefully, yeah, see you on the Camino. Looking forward to
Yeah,
walking
one final
together.
question though, Sonia. Can you remind everyone roughly how many spots we have or that we're looking to fill?
Yes, yes. So the group last year we were 10, so I think between 10 and 12 is what we are looking for. We have some of them already booked, so I would say like 8 maybe are left at this moment. And if you want to take advantage of the early bird price and save these 300 euros, make sure you put your booking deposit before Friday. Friday midnight is when it
Yeah, and the booking
ends.
deposit is only how much?
300 euros.
300 US or euros?
Euros, yeah, euros.
300 euros just to save the spot. And then when do you expect the final payment?
So, okay, so the idea is to have conversation with the person, but the idea is to pay to have less at the end, a little bit every month, right? So
Okay, so you'll
what?
work out like a payment plan with them,
Yes, yeah, no interest or
whatever makes you
anything.
guys comfortable.
Exactly. So we can split all this. Everything needs to be paid by March 2026. Thank you.
All right,
Yes, I
everyone.
needed to mention that.
Great. And then Sonia, do you want to, I think your email or drop your email in chat if
Yes.
anyone wants to reach out to Sonia and they have specific questions. Sonia is the person to go to for all like the logistics of this experience. She's the one planning and coordinating all of it. So go ahead and reach out to her. I did drop the link there again, and those watching the replay will be putting the link in the description and the in the comments as well, depending on wherever you're seeing this. But Sonia's information and the landing page where you can learn all the details and even secure your spot is dropped in the chat for you guys. All right,
Beautiful.
come on. Well, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone.
Thanks for joining again. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much. And looking forward to El Camino 2026. We're going to blink and it's going to be here.
Yes, time flies.
All right, wonderful. All right, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye bye. Thanks.